Yo, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Fourth and Goal. It is your host with the most, Patty Pitts. Sitting here in the Pitts Cave, and I am joined here in the yard of the stream with the best in the West that obviously you cannot forget. That is Sara Marshall. Sara, we finally got a Patriots game on a Thursday night. I'm feeling nice about this one.
I'm feeling like as bright as this light is making.
There we go. I love that. There we go.
Yeah, I am excited. It's gonna be weird to go 10 days without Patriots football.
I will agree with that. It definitely is going to be a little weird. However, it's going to be nice though on Sunday to be able to sit, watch the rest of the league, not have to worry about I got to watch the Pats, or I got to make my full attention to this, or even just worrying about it. Period. What I do now, I get to focus in and watch my other teams, like the Lions and the Browns, take on each other, and we'll see what other shenanigans happens with Green Bay, the Colts. Like it's a lot less stress for me, at least. But
yeah, I don't have another team. I have teams I don't like, which I guess I'm pretty passionate about. So I guess I don't know. I'm excited that I can watch whatever. Yeah, like I don't have to sit here and worry about like how much of the game I'm missing and if I need to rewind it or something. But
yeah, exactly.
Thursday games are always nerve-wracking though.
They are. I will give you that. The last Thursday night game the Patriots played in, I was attending. It was 2 years ago when they played the Giants at Gillette. And I don't know what it is, but the Thursday night in the Patriots just does not seem to add up. Not as in they have the worst luck with it. It seems weird,
Yeah.
It just seems like an odd combination.
Yeah. Well, hopefully tonight will be better. They just announced that Patterson is out. So he is officially out. I guess he was out testing his ankle, and people that were there, like reporters and media were there, and they said it looked like he was kind of hobbling. So not really a shock there, but also Ridley's out. So
he's not
it's going to be the Kyle Pitts show, basically. Yeah,
another Pitts. That's what we do. The Pitts is just steal the show. That's a family thing. It's a name thing.
And the Patriots, so Harris is playing, Oshesky's playing. There's basically no one big that's inactive or anything, so that's good too.
Yeah. I mean, especially. I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't. Oh.
Go ahead, keep going. Go.
I was gonna say for Harris. I mean, he could have taken another week off with the play of Stevenson. How well he's been doing. But it's good to see everyone healthy. Trent Brown being back on the field. I know we didn't really touch upon that last time, but I'm a big Trent Brown guy.
Yeah.
So to see him back on the field, especially after almost dying last year, it's a great story.
That's such a crazy story too. Like I just read him talking about it, and I was like, okay, when you hear about it, like an IV mishap or whatever, it's like if you're not someone who's familiar with IVs, then you might not really understand how like intense that can be and how scary that can be. I've had a lot of IVs in my life. And one time I had an IV that infiltrated, which just basically means that it was bad, like it came out of the vein or whatever. And they still shot stuff through it, and it was so painful. So I'm like, yeah, no, they shouldn't have done it, but I was going into surgery. Anyway, not to make this about me, but I'm just saying, like, I can't imagine the fear that had to have brought on, or like how painful it must have been. Like, that's really scary.
Yeah,
you don't hear about that kind of thing often either.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
not at all. I mean, I wouldn't. Besides that, and then the Tyrod thing. I mean,
what were the chances of like two players having IV problems? I was like, what is happening? This is nothing that you hear about. And then there's two players in the NFL that have had the same issue. Like, what?
Yeah. Oh no, it isn't insane to think about. But he's back on the field as I look at the screen and see Mac Jones' gorgeous face, and I see the lineups for the teams on the tickers and the inactives. You just said Cordell Patterson's out. And JJ Taylor, Asiasi for fantasy purposes for the Patriots. But speaking of fantasy, transitioning here, we're just going to do a hear me out with this. We're just going to do a hear me out question. I was going to start with something else, but you know what? You triggered it. I'm glad this is what we're doing here. So hear me out to start the show. So hear me out. That's right. It is the Hear Me Out question of the day, brought to you by Pickup, our proud sponsor, who we will be doing some sponsored content for in just an hour or so with the Thursday night stream. Pickup, go to playpickup.com, make an account, play the headlines, and earn rewards from Fanatics gift cards to volleyball nets. And even if you don't want to take part in that, but you are someone who lives in the state where legalized gambling is a thing, congratulations, because you get to turn those points, lucky you, turn those points into cash at one of their partnering sports books. So go and check them out today at playpickup.com and follow them. New Twitter name, I'll bring it up, Twitter name. I went to go tag them in this, and it was not their name. They changed it to @PickupHQ. So go write that down in your notes section of your phones and go pick up your phone later and follow them. Look at that. Geez, Pickup. There's so many puns that I can't think of it, and I just want to get to this question. Pickup, go do it today. So last episode with Steve McAvoy and I talking waivers, we mentioned that, there was a potential chance that Cordell Patterson wouldn't play this week. And he suggested to pick up Wayne Gallman. I am a big fan of this because if you remember from last season, Wayne Gallman was at least a top 12, a top 15 fantasy back for a good 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks of the season. Is he someone that you would definitely play tonight, or even slotting in into your DFS lineups?
I swapped out Patterson because I do have him. So I made sure that I took him out. But I swapped him in. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't hate that. I don't know if I love my pick. I have Hines in there right now. But yeah, I mean, someone's going to have to pick up for what Patterson's been doing because he's been a complete beast this season. So, the defense has been playing really hard. It's kind of like, I don't know that I love any running back right now going against the Patriots defense, but even regardless of the lack of success last week for the Browns, D'Ernest Johnson still got didn't he get 20
yards on 20 carries?
Yeah, and, so I mean, he
didn't score though.
I think he got some good points though, didn't he?
He got a lot. Yeah, he was 20 points. Yeah, he was finished as an RB at least. Yeah, top 12. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like that's you testing it. I mean, they're gonna go to him because they don't basically. I mean, there's no one else really. So
except I don't for Kyle know. Pitts.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, obviously they're gonna use the heck out of him, but I just don't know how I feel about people going against the Patriots defense.
I don't blame you. No, and that is definitely something to consider when you have to make that decision. My only logic is that if you had to play someone against the Patriots, it should be a running back. It's something that the defense is filthy. Their secondary is even better. But D'Ernest Johnson proved it last week. I mean, I could go on and on of a list of different names that have proved it in the past.
Yeah.
I would be very comfortable with starting Wayne Gallman tonight. Yeah, Kyle Pitts as well, because he's really the only passing option, in my opinion, for Matty Ice. But Wayne Gallman, if you had to slot someone in for an injury, bye week, or even, Cordell Patterson, I would feel very confident starting him this week. For sure.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I was saying I feel like it's not a bad choice if you have to, because I mean, the running back is always the safe pick over a receiver. I wouldn't pick anyone else really on the Falcons. I mean, if you were going to play anyone, I was going to say Patterson. Obviously, Patterson's out, so go to the next guy.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we're talking about Wayne Gallman right now, but he's not even the guy that was the RB1 at the start of the year, and neither was Patterson, and it's Mike Davis. Everything I've seen on the NFL Network for the past couple of days is that Mike Davis is atrocious. Right now, he's RB50, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my!
In fantasy platforms, like that's just horrific. That's terrible.
It's just such a change from last year. It's so crazy how you can see such a change in such a short period of time. Because I mean, he was a guy that you would want last year. Now, I mean, they found Patterson. They are lucky. They are blessed.
Which is crazy that Cordero Patterson finally becoming the highly ranked or highly praised football player, we'll say, that he was supposed to be coming out of the draft. I know Matthew Berry was, fangirling over him to the point where this is where I was a blindly loyal Matthew Berry follower. And, he's kind of one of the reasons why I stepped away. But now he's doing well, and he found a system where, the Falcons are going to have to do shit like this to be productive or be, talked about, and have any sort of success.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to see that. May even pop in my DFS lineup once we get to the goal line stand. Who knows? But before that, let's just recap the games for the recap. We're not going to recap anything until Sunday night.
Talk about them.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all the games. And usually we would not start with the Patriots. However, it is Thursday night and they're playing tonight. So let's start with that. However, I wanted to mention this at the top of the show to you because WWE fan.
Yes.
So I come downstairs into the cave and I'm, scrolling around just looking for stuff. And I see in my cleaning that I have an autograph from King Kong Bundy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it triggered a story. I actually wrote a blog about this on From the Bleachers, the first ever network for Fourth and Goal during WrestleMania season. And I'll wrap the story up quick and then I'll tweet it out later because it's hilarious. But I went to an indie show in the Cape with my cousins for his birthday. We had front row seats, the whole 9 yards. Like, it was awesome. And before all the show started, King Kong Bundy was like the headliner or the main, the big promoter, professional to come in. And he was signing autographs. But, me, I mean, how long have we been co-hosting? Month now? I love to talk people's ear off and love to learn things and whatnot. So I'm asking him just question after question. Okay. And this is not like 18-year-old, 16-year-old. This is like 10-year-old, 9-year-old captains. And I'm asking him like just question after question. I finally get to the question of, how did it feel to lose to The Undertaker at WrestleMania? Because I'm just like, I want to know what the streak was like. I want, the inside scoop. He goes, kid, listen, if you don't get away from me in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to punch you square in the face. I'm a 9-year-old child. That came to, and I just went, okay. This was, thank God, after he signed my, the picture of him. But I walked away with like the biggest turd in my pants. And my cousin is just roaring laughing, but both actually, because he just emasculated this child who just wanted to know a thing or two about the behind the scenes thing.
It was a sensitive subject, apparently.
It was. But why I bring it up is because I'm like, let me see if like he's still around. Maybe he can come on the, when the season ends and the pit stop gets rejuvenated, maybe he can come on as a guest. He died 2 years ago. So
oh no, I didn't know that.
I was very sad to hear that. I was like, shit, like that would have been awesome, and see if he would have remembered too. Probably.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that is. I mean, I guess he probably would, just because I can't imagine he was meeting a ton of kids like later in his life. I mean, like, I mean, they wouldn't have been old enough to really even know who he was unless they watched older, wrestling stuff. So.
Yeah, it was just so funny because I'm like,
I wish I had a funny wrestling story other than like meeting them. I mean, nothing funny. I had John.
You met a lot.
I have, but like nothing like funny, really. I mean, John Morrison laughed at me.
He didn't threaten to punch you in the face. That's good.
No,
that's
he's
always
just
a step up.
Yeah, he just laughed at me. Heath Slater ignored me when I met Nexus, which was fine because I hated him. But he's like the only one like not looking for the picture. But nothing funny. It's probably because I'm a girl. You know.
I mean, I have a picture before we get into this because I thought of another one when I went to the Garden the other month or two ago, whenever Biggie cashed in, was there for it. But before the match started, we had like front row. Thanks, my buddy at DraftKings, hashtag not a sponsor. And we sat up front, and we were literally right behind the crew. And I saw
like announcers,
like the backstage crew, the ring crew.
Yeah.
And the ref was standing right there before the match. I went, "Hey, come here," and I asked for a selfie, and I got the selfie with him. He was like the nicest guy. So I mean,
I was friends with a ref, but he didn't work there anymore. He almost got in trouble once because we were sitting front row at Raw. He did a lot of this was like 10 years ago. He did a lot of the women's matches, but he came out, he was the referee for the match, but they were doing like, a video package or something. So we were still like off air technically. And he came over and was like talking to us because we were front row. And then like he didn't go in the ring in time. So like the lights come up and like their music starts. He has to like run into the ring because like he was busy talking to us. And I was like, dude, if you get in trouble, that's not on me. Because you got out of the ring.
I mean, yeah, that's a funny story. I mean, he missed his moment. He missed his airtime.
I'm still Facebook friends seconds. With him.
There we go. So there's your story.
Sure.
I don't think King Kong Bundy had Facebook.
So
couldn't really
probably not
reach out to him. So, but yeah, I mean, I love it's good transition here. Is I love going to those events.
Yes.
I love wrestling events are the best, sporting events in general. And I went to the game last week, obviously, as I've mentioned 1,000 times already. But I'm here. I'm sitting in the cave for this week. And I'm all right with it. Because now we get to I get to sit down, watch this. And, I finally also know what's going on. Because last week when on the Jacoby Myers touchdown, when the Browns player was hurt, who still do not know who it was, who was hurt on the play. It was seriously.
From injured. What I know, he went to the hospital, but I think he was released. So I don't know who
the player was.
I can't remember his name. No.
My dad said it was like Hill or like something Hill.
I don't remember.
Which in that, I mean, but the yeah. So the excuse me, with that happening, I mean, I'm jumping up and down, high-fiving the fans behind me, all that, and it's just dead silent. I'm like, what's going on? Like, can we kick the field goal? Like, so I'm gonna get to know what's going on, so I don't have to be that insensitive D-bag accidentally.
Well, I mean, like it's hard. It's the thing about going to a game in person is like it's the atmosphere that makes it fun. And like, I mean, I guess being able to see them too, but it's like the best place to watch a game is like at home. It's like on a TV because you can actually see everything. It's just, of course, if you want to experience it with like the fans and being able to see the team in person, like then go. But I mean, the people who go to games like every single week, I mean, even watching the live tweets from reporters, I'm like, how are you watching up in a box and that all of this is happening? Like, how can you see that this is happening?
I will say the boxes are awesome. I will brag a little bit here. As a child, my dad had a lot of connects with Budweiser and a lot of other beer distributors. So we used to go to games a lot. And the box seats, we never went to a Patriots box seat. Never had that because when Budweiser took over the sponsorship of the league in whenever it was, I was too old that I was at college and my dad was at the point where he's like, F this, I'm sitting at home, I'm watching the game in the comfort in my chair, and I'm going to pass out in the end of the third quarter. Like that's his MO, and that's fine because he's better on the block a few times. Me, on the other hand, is I want to go as many as possible. But so I mean, I
was in a box in Seattle, but only one time, and it was the Seahawks versus the Patriots. So
was that the Brady, Richard Sherman, like the first ever Legion of Boom, like when they beat Brady?
That would have been. It might have, yes, 2012.
What year?
Yeah,
yep,
2012.
That was the first ever, yeah.
Yeah, so I went, because I went
into a historic game.
My first one was 2008, and then with Matt Castle and Seneca Wallace, and then I went again in 2012, and that's when the Seahawks won. So it was fun to be in a box, but it's not fun to be around the opposing fans, like everyone there was a
Yeah.
Seahawks fan. So
That's the greatest quarterback matchup I've heard of just
yeah,
going to. I
Matt
love
Castle.
going to those
Yeah.
bullshit quarterback matchups where it's, backup versus backup,
Well, that's the
especially
thing.
in
If anyone ever wants
preseason.
to question my fanship, I'll be like, bro, I went to a game in 2008 when it was Matt Castle playing Seneca Wallace, who most of you probably don't even know was ever a quarterback. If you want to question my fanship, I would have very easily just been like, nah, I'm not going to
Nah,
that game. But I went and
no.
we won by 1 point, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was 2008 was a weird year. That was once
You were
Brady. I
probably
watched.
like an infant. So
All right, well, let's not. I'm not that young. All right, that was when it was right after Brady's injury,
yes.
uh, and when he went down, I'm pretty sure like that fantasy league that year just took like not the biggest dive,
Mm-hmm.
but you could tell like the Patriots feeling around the league, around the fantasy league was just not there. Especially to my buddy's grandpa who drafted Tom Brady and Randy Moss, and
Rough.
yeah, so that's tough. But we
Mm-hmm.
won't have. I mean, good transition now into Randy Moss. Weird, but who do you think will like? I really think that we have some sort of connection like that brewing with Mac Jones, and it's not even just with one guy; it's
Mm-hmm.
with all of them. I mean, I think tonight we're going to see that happen. The Falcons' defense is atrocious. Their secondary is just as awful and way worse than the Browns. So you're going to see a lot more passing in this game than we did last Sunday at Gillette. Because of that, I think we could see three guys. I would say Jacoby Myers leads the team in targets, but this is my bold prediction of the night with this game. I think Hunter Henry scores another touchdown again and continues
Oh,
the
I'm
streak
sure.
again.
Yeah. Yeah. I am hoping we see some more Kendrick Bourne as well.
I
I
love
really
it. He's my
like,
boy.
that coming out of camp in preseason looked really good. So I'd like to keep up what they kept, what they were doing last week. Of course, Hunter Henry. I am really looking forward to seeing N'Keal Harry block again because I mean, I understand that people are mad that, oh, he's not performing the way a first round receiver should be, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he was blocking. Wasn't he on like Myles Garrett a couple times? Like, come on, guys. Like, he was
His size
killing it
alone,
last
yeah.
week.
He really
So,
was, yeah.
I mean, if he's not going to be used in as a wide receiver, then use him in another way. And he seems to be really good at blocking. So might as well, because then he's kind of like a decoy. So I'm like, why wouldn't you? Why? I don't know. I think people just like don't
No,
like N'Keal
yeah.
Harry. So
No, I'm laughing because you said decoy, and it's just like I just N'Keal Harry's a decoy is hilarious. But I do agree with your point there is that he should be on the line a little bit more. I mean,
yeah,
he is a talented receiver. I hate
look
to
at
be
how
that guy, but he is.
Well, and look at how quickly him and Hoyer, like that was instant and he got like 20
Yeah.
something yards. And so I'm like, okay, so it's not like, I mean, I understand it was like garbage time
No,
when
it's
that
tomato, potato,
happened.
same thing. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't know why he's not more involved. Obviously he asked for a trade, he didn't get it. They didn't trade him. So they definitely wanted to keep him. So it's like, well, if they're going to use him, I guess using him as a blocker is good, but I would like to see him involved in the passing game more. I think he could be a threat. They just haven't quite figured that out yet, apparently.
He's a weird receiver, and I really liked him when I looked at his highlights coming out of college.
Yeah.
And he is a big guy that Mac would like. That's the thing is that if he could be that viable deep threat for the Patriots, then you have four legit receivers,
Mm-hmm.
and that takes the pressure off Aguilar being a deep threat, so then he becomes a little bit more open. And then you have Kendrick Bourne, who is not people consider him a deep threat. I don't. I think he's a great mid route guy where over the middle, out routes, 15, 20 yards down. And then obviously Jacoby Myers being the next Edelman in a way where it's just if you need someone to catch a pass on a critical down to get to make a play, you go to him. And that's one thing that the Patriots have that the Falcons don't is a plethora of weapons and offensive guys to throw to. And it's crazy to say that because historically the Patriots have been the complete opposite of this.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people were not happy going into the season with who they had, even who they picked up in free agency. People were complaining that they didn't feel like Kendrick Bourne was going to be good, or Jacoby couldn't be a wide receiver one, or why did you give Aguilar that kind of contract? So everyone was mostly in on the tight ends, of course, but they are spreading the ball around. Mac has not favored anybody. So we're seeing what they're capable of. I just want to see more. Like I said, I would like to see what they do with N'Keal, and if they could throw to Aguilar more, because he's a deep threat. I don't care what anyone says. My favorite stat is he averaged 18 yards per reception last year. And
I love that. I was literally about to say that. Keep good shit. Here we go.
So people, I'm like, he's completely capable of doing this. He's not the same Nelson Aguilar meme of 4 years ago. So, yeah.
I like them.
But I just hope that we'll see it more, eventually. I mean, they're starting to gel now. It's like mid-November. But I'm not anticipating anything like too crazy tonight just because it is a short week. But the Falcons are the Falcons. We'll have to see. They've given some teams a hard time this year, despite, all of the issues that they have, of course, because they're the Falcons. But the Patriots definitely got a big win with Patterson being out and Ridley, because Ridley can be good. People just were always so focused on Julio.
Well, that's the thing, is that Calvin Ridley was projected to be in a lot of Twitter groups or Twitter people I follow were projecting Calvin Ridley to be the wide receiver one this season.
Yeah.
Well, and then I took a stock on it. I took a shot, and look what happens.
Yeah. Well, and it's become Kyle Pitts. So, I mean, good for y'all.
We're very important to the teams that we're on. That's really kind of what the Pitts motto is.
You want to know my connection? My connection to the Falcons. Matt Ryan's wife's name is Sara Marshall. And that's not a lie.
That's actually incredible.
We have the same name. I can't remember if she has an H in hers. I can't remember, but at least her maiden name is Sara Marshall. I don't know. Maybe she's Sarah Ryan now. I don't know, but
those are very Sarah Marshall, Sarah Ryan are very just generic names.
Yeah.
I would say I'm going to go with, if her name, I would feel like she is a blonde as well. I don't know what it is, but I feel like she's got
probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sarah, I am not too caught up on players' wives and stuff. So I was looking up something on Wikipedia about him, and then it just happened to be he's married to Sara Marshall, and I was like, what?
I'm right here. I don't have a ring on my finger, but
yes, exactly.
And then I need to shout out, before we get into the next game, I need to shout out my boy. I'm wearing my red sleeves tonight. I want everyone out. I want to make this a thing. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna go buy, probably, because this is a Ohio State sweatshirt. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sit down here, even if it's a bajillion degrees, in a sweatshirt. So I got to go get myself some red sleeves. But everyone, I'm going to start a trend now where I'm going to wear these red sleeves every game. If they lose, we'll kind of have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I was going to be take that off ASAP.
But I did wear this exact get up last week at the game. Okay. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
And now that we got this, I got my decision hammer out for the game tonight. We're hammering the Patriots. We're agreeing on the Patriots.
Yes.
All right, we got it. Lock it in. Next game on tap for us, as I get it up right now. Hold on here. I got so caught up talking Patriots and King.
I could say what I have on my screen.
Go for it, Sarah.
Colts at Bills.
Yikes.
I am I'm contemplating watching this game. I think that I have two games. I already looked on the TV guide to see what games I have on Sunday and trying to decide if I need to watch Sunday Ticket or not. I think I have the Packers Vikings and what's the other morning game? Ravens Bears.
You suck. Morning game.
They started. now that the clocks have changed, they start at 11 instead of 10. So, yeah.
That sounds gorgeous.
For the majority of my life, they've been morning games because I moved out of Boston in 2003. So, for the most part, it's always been a 10 a.m. game for me. So when people are like, "Oh, I have the whole morning to do stuff until the game," and I'm like, "I wake up and watch football. Like, I don't have any time to do anything."
I mean, both scenarios sound great.
Yes.
So I mean, and this game is definitely not one to. It's gonna be a good game to start off your day with, for sure.
Yeah. No, I think that it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a good test for, I think, both teams, because this will see, you know, can the Bills get back to how they were playing for the majority of this season? Are the Colts legit? We'll have to see. Like, I mean, the Bills defense has been really good this year. But the Colts have been coming in hot the last few weeks. So traveling to Buffalo is not going to be an easy feat, that's for sure.
No, it won't be. And the Bills, I would say, other than their horrific, tragic loss to the Jags, which is a team that the Colts did beat, however, but they let them come back, and they let the Jets come back as well. Yeah. So that's the question that I have, for not just for you, but for anyone listening or tuning in now, is that do we see, you know, is that going to be a problem? Obviously not for this game because it's a different tier opponent. But could this be something to watch out for the rest of the season?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing I think with Carson Wentz in general is he can start off really good and then he kind of just like trickles down. Like, it's generally not a full season thing, obviously, other than the 2017 season when he broke his leg. So we'll never know if he would be able to, you know, stay consistently good the whole year. But this is just kind of like a pattern with him. It just doesn't seem to be able to be maintained. So you're going up against a much tougher opponent than you've seen the last couple weeks. And you're playing at their house. So this is going to be a real big test, like I said, for both teams. But if the Colts want to be a true threat in the AFC, then they should try to, you know, do as much as possible against the Bills as they can, because they, for the most part, from what most people believe, are running the AFC East. So,
yeah. The Colts are definitely give me a lot of interest in this game, a lot more than the Bills do as a team. You mentioned that you're starting Nyheim Hines, and
I have him in right now, yes, but I'm not. I don't love it.
Sarah, we gotta have a talk. You can't do that. I think
know
you should take him out right now.
No, I know. That's why I said I was like, I swapped out Patterson, and then I saw who I swapped him out with because that was all I had. I was like, yeah, I'm not advocating for this move.
No, and then I appreciate you coming the way you're approaching it. You're like, I put him in because it's not a bad start on a regular basis, because even as an RB2, he's still finding a lot of production in that offense, which is how that Colts offense should run. But now this week you got the Bills. You know, I know their secondary is a lot better than their front seven and linebackers, but the problem is with that, Nyheim Hines is very much involved in the passing game.
Yeah.
And the Bills are just, I mean, that's why I'm sitting Carson Wentz. I put him in my sit list this week for Underground, is that you can't, I'm not starting even him, Michael Pittman, you know, stay away from the Colts. And I mean, yeah, Jonathan Taylor, like, you have to.
Yeah.
I would, you know, but I do have Nyheim Hines. I would go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know,
I need to pick up someone in the waiver wire.
Yeah. So I'm going to look at who you should pick up right now. Wait, what leagues? What's your, oh my God, why can't I think of
my record?
App. No.
Oh, I have ESPN.
Right, okay, ESPN. All right, so I'm going to go there and try to find some good
This is my best league. I'm 6-4.
Okay, so right now, as
my gosh,
it is on Thursday.
Also, did you see? Remember, I told you I started that league like way later, and I was 0-3. Me in that, bro, I was against tied. So now I'm 0-3-1. Me and the guy I was against tied. Like what? Like 133.12. Like.
Are you the Detroit Lions right now?
I know that. I was like, this is some BS, dude, because they took 6. I won by 6 points. And then I woke up and I checked and I was like, oh, yeah, I won. Yeah. And they took 6 points away from my kicker. And I was like, how do you
take 6 points away from your kicker?
I don't know. I have the Bills kicker. He had 15 points, and then I woke up and he had 9, I think, and I was like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "Why? How do you mess up kickers' points that much? I mean, 6 points is a lot." So I was so irritated. I thought I finally got my first win, and no, I did the inevitable apparently for my life. So
you are Sara Campbell right now. You
yeah,
are just
I know
that's rough to hear.
it was. Yep.
Wow, that's tragic. That's
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Cole, so are we agreeing with Bills here? Do we start? You're
Yeah.
starting your Bills, obviously, but are we predicting the Bills to take this one?
Yeah, just because it's at home and it's the Bills, they're gonna want to keep this win streak going. Even though last week, who did they beat? The Dolphins or the Jets? Like something not,
Yeah,
amazing. But yeah, as much as I would like to see the Bills lose, I'm gonna probably go with them.
I want to say Bills, but there's something in my gut telling me right now that this is not going to be a game where you're starting any Colts players fantasy wise, but I could really see this being a game where the Colts sneak out with a win.
I would love that.
Just barely get by with either a field goal or some sort of mistake from Josh Allen. So I'm gonna take the Colts to give a little difference here, but also because like I just don't, after losing the Jaguars,
Yeah.
and then you mollywop the Jets, like you have to beat the Colts to prove to me that you should be someone that I can week in and week out rely on to pick to win. But I don't see that this way. I'm gonna go Colts. You got Bills. Good. All right.
You want me to do the games?
You got it. Hey, if you got it,
I have the list here.
If you got to flaunt it.
I like being the host sometimes,
Perfect. I like that.
Well, I talk to myself for an hour, when I stream. So
did it for 4 months. So
yeah.
There.
So Ravens at Chicago. I feel like there's nothing really to be said about this.
Yeah,
that much. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a tougher game for the Ravens, who are coming off of another loss, but I trust their offense far more than I trust the Bears offense. So
yeah, I would have to agree with that. The Ravens, I will pick them to win this as well. That's mine. But I do think that it's going to be the Lamar show. And
it's going to
obviously it is. But I mean, like running, not even passing really. He may have 170, 190 yards passing, but he's going to do all his damage on the ground. That's where the Bears really struggle, in my opinion. I don't know if Khalil Mack is still on the IR, still out. But, the Bears defense is good. I just think Lamar can run all over them. So I wouldn't play any, Ravens if you can.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I have Lamar.
Maybe but that would be the only player I would be very, very high on in this game.
Yeah.
So, and then for the Bears, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I have Mooney, I think, in on my flex in one, but again, I haven't really tended to my lineups yet. So I just made sure that I didn't have anyone in for tonight's game. And then I was like, okay, I'll come back.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm with you though.
All right, so we're going Ravens for that. We're gonna share that one.
The next one is the Lions at Browns.
Lions are winning. I'm proclaiming it now. The Lions are winning this week.
I don't think Chubb is activated yet. I believe that they activated a different running back today. I can't remember his name, but I know it wasn't Nick Chubb.
Was it
no. It was a guy I don't know, so that's why I'm like, I don't remember his name.
Was it Demetric Felton? Do you know him?
I honestly I have no idea.
My guy?
I have no idea. I honestly don't remember. I just saw so and so of the Browns was activated.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? I mean,
in Cleveland, right?
Yeah, it's in Cleveland. I don't know if I like anybody on either side.
I don't either.
Fantasy wise, no. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
Go.
If I had to pick who's gonna win, I mean, you can go with the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Okay, I like how we can differ there.
Sorry.
You're the smart one in this case. betting against the Lions. All right, I'm blindly following Dan Campbell's loyalty or leadership, which I feel like everyone in the state of Michigan should.
Yeah.
But I was watching this week, and a lot of things I've been seeing is that you're right. You don't start no Baker. I wouldn't start Jarvis really unless it's a deeper league or you have to because of buys. If Nick Chubb is activated, which I could see him being activated this week, at least by Saturday, you start him.
I hope he's okay.
He better
be.
Like,
because he had COVID. So
yes.
I don't believe that they ever talked about his they said he was vaccinated. Okay. So I'm just hoping that he gets okay, is okay, because we haven't really gotten an update since they said he was out last week. So hopefully he's feeling okay, or at least getting close to it, because that would really suck if he's super sick.
Oh yeah, no, that would not be good, especially for my fantasy lineup, which really needs a goddamn win
and long-term effects.
Yeah, we got to think of the person as well. Obviously,
that's what I'm doing. Okay,
I'm being selfish because I need wins. Okay,
this next game is going to be wonderful. Texans at Titans.
I'm going the Titans.
I'm picking the Houston. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going with I'm just kidding. The Titans. Obviously.
Okay, I'm glad.
Start all the Titans.
Imagine if you were going with the Texans, I would have loved it and really just loved the cojones on you. But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, no, I can't even do it. I couldn't even finish my sentence as a joke. I couldn't even finish the joke.
Yeah.
So, I have Brandon Cooks. I always have Brandon Cooks in. Sometimes I regret it, sometimes I don't. But he's the guy in Houston. So I feel like if you have to play a Texans player, Brandon Cooks, it's the only guy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't play anyone else.
I said in my start sit this week to start Tyrod because the Titans have allowed the most passing yards to fantasy quarterbacks this season, and that's just really something for 2 quarterback leagues and people playing, trying to find a streamer guy on buy, because Tyrod's not that bad of a quarterback. He really isn't. Although he gets a lot of shit for his past with being replaced by Baker, then Herbert, and then Davis Mills. But, in my opinion, I really believe Tyrod deserves a shot. And it's actually, he could have a chance to make this close and hopefully or potentially give them the win. But I just think that the Titans are too good right now, hottest team right now in the AFC. And I think this is the week where we see their passing game really expand a lot more and finally be, something that it should have been the entire year.
I'm sorry. I'm just seeing this news because I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But Shaun Wade is active tonight for the Patriots.
Oh, lit. Let's go.
So what are we going to see? I don't know. I just got excited because
I haven't heard that name since August.
Yeah, because he's been
September.
Yeah. Another interesting game, Packers at Vikings. 2 of my favorite quarterbacks in the entire league, Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins.
Oh, go off, Queen. Just go.
Yeah,
let's see what you got.
I just can't with either of them.
We got to make a list of quarterbacks that you do like, because I feel like there's just so little out of the selection.
Well, it's not okay. It's I don't hate all of them, and hate is such a strong word. But okay, I don't dislike all of them. There's just ones that annoy me more than others. Agreed. I don't really like Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson, I don't like him just because he's corny. That's why. But I don't hate him. It's just he makes me feel weird. That's
words, but yeah, I get what you're
he's
there.
Just cringy. It's kind of like Baker Mayfield. He's cringy to me in a different way.
Those progressive commercials are awesome.
I mean, they've gotten better, but I can't unsee that photo of him in his rookie season where he's on a car. He's shirtless with a chain on, and there's a tiger. I can't unsee that, and so that's embedded in my brain forever, and I just can't get rid of it.
That's good marketing. That's good advertisement right there.
Yeah. So this is going to be I think an interesting game. It's divisional. And the Vikings are playing tough a bit this season. So Rodgers is still coming off of a horrible game. It was his first one, obviously, back from the COVID debacle. So we'll have to see the long-term effects of that, considering you had told me that he did talk about feeling exhausted or whatever after the game. So we'll have to monitor that. And then the Vikings, I don't know. They've just been kind of inconsistent. They were completely dominating the Ravens and then let the Ravens come back and beat them in overtime. So it's like, I don't know. Divisional games are always tricky. I don't feel like there's ever really, unless it's the Jets. There's never really like a definitive winner, like obvious winner here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers strictly because of Rodgers coming off of that bad game. He does that thing where if he has a bad game the next week, it's pretty much Brady-esque, where he goes out there and we'll just make everyone realize who the fuck he is. I just call it how I sees it.
I just don't think they belong in the same sentence. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
so
I mean,
watch your mouth. No, I'm just kidding.
I will try.
I'm just gonna go with the Vikings just because.
All right.
Because I just want to be different.
And
if someone,
like a little bit more.
If a Viking picks off Rodgers, I would really love for him to do the, the belt, the title thing, because Rodgers was so mad about that last week. So
double check. Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, don't even get me started. Anyway, let's move on to this next game because I could. Yeah.
It looks like you're about to vom.
A thriller in New York. The Dolphins at the Jets.
That sounds like a snooze fest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Flacco is playing. I forgot. Flacco is playing for the Jets. And I think they're going to go with Tua in Miami. So
they are. They
Tua versus the elite quarterback. I don't know why that meme ever started, but Joe Flacco. I kind of like Miami.
Yeah, I'm going with Dolphins as well.
Joe Flacco is 87 years old and he plays for the Jets. So the Jets will jet.
Yeah.
Imagine Zach Wilson loses his job to Joe Flacco.
That's very, very fantasy land thinking, but
that would be hilarious
at this point. So who knows? I could see this going one way really. It's the Dolphins are going to have a bounce back week. They're going to have not a bounce back week. They beat the Ravens last week. They're going to continue that.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is my biggest issue with people, and it's that Tua is a good quarterback. Tua is a great guy in general, very lovable, and is exactly what you want out of a franchise quarterback. And they just don't want him. I mean, I saw his press conference last week and it was hilarious. Like his engagement with the media. I mean, that's just one thing off the field, but then on the field, he makes plays. Like, I'm sorry, but like he may screw up a little bit, but like, has he had the time to fix his mistakes? No, because they want to change the quarterback on him like a frustrated kid in Madden.
Well, and like, some of those, like, I think we talked about it a little bit, or at least I did. The reports about them going for Watson, they went pretty deep, like
way too deep.
Yeah, like the NDAs and whatever. So it was like they were all in, even trying to do some, skeezy stuff to try and get him. And then they try to come out into the media, say, "Oh no, we love Tua. Tua is our guy." Jeez Louise. But I mean, this has been going on since last year when they drafted him. So it's like, I mean, this isn't just a 2021 thing. This is something where as a rookie, you didn't want him. So like, how do you think that that's affecting him? You can't just say, "Oh, everything that you're hearing in the media is nonsense." Like, no, there's truth to it. And it has been for almost 2 years. I just don't really understand, though, if they don't really believe in him or they don't really want him. I don't understand why they drafted him because Flores was there when they drafted him. So it doesn't make any sense to me why they're almost trying to like push him out the door.
Yeah, I don't get that at all, especially because he plays well. He has a good connection with Gesicki. You bring in Jalen Waddle, which was his former teammate at Bama, and he's been doing well playing alongside him again. I just really hope, and it's not Flores' issue by any means. Flores loves Tua, and Flores wants exactly what we're talking about.
I just find it hard to believe that he has not been involved in any of these conversations about Watson and whatever. It's very hard for me to believe that they've been going over Flores's head and not including him in any of it. Like, I feel like Flores seemed like a good guy, but for how, like I said, how deep these conversations went with Watson, it's just very hard for me to believe that they've been keeping the head coach out of the loop on it. Like, I don't believe that at all.
Fair. I think they're not keeping him out of the loop. They are keeping him in the loop, but they just are disregarding all his opinions. That's what I at this point, it has to be, because there's no other explanation for it. So yeah, we got the Dolphins in that. Start who we just said and sit who we didn't.
So Saints, Eagles.
Yikes. I have Jalen Hurts, you're starting, and Devonta Smith. Those are my two guys I wrote about this week. Yeah, I would. That's my 2 cents. I mean, the last time the Hurts played the Saints, rushed for over 100 yards, 109 to be exact, in his debut. First time the Saints allowed an 100-yard rusher for like 3 years, 2 years, something like that. Mm-hmm. And the Eagles are a better team than the Saints, in my opinion. Maybe not on the defensive side of the ball, but I have a very good feeling that the Eagles are going to, repeat their win last year.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Saints go, monitor Kamara, because I don't think he's been cleared yet to play. And if he doesn't play, then go with Ingram. No. That's what I did last week. Praise the football gods. But other than that, yeah, no, I wouldn't be too keen on anybody in this, unless like you have to, like I said, or the ones you mentioned on the Eagles as well. I don't like the matchup for either team really, but Jalen Hurts.
I would start him, yeah. What was I going to say? I mean, Trevor Siemian isn't a bad option. The Eagles defense is not the best, and he has been playing well. So if you do want to stream him in, sub him in as a QB2, I think is the ceiling for 2 quarterback leagues. But, I think that's not a bad move. And then Antonio Callaway, if he's still playing, I mean, he's someone that is a diamond in the rough there. In New Orleans. I mean, he's been consistent throughout the entire season, so I would go with him. But so you're going for the win. You go Eagles as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I picked them last week and it worked, so I guess I should just stick with it.
Ride the wave. Let's go.
The next game is full of storylines. Washington football team at Panthers.
All right. I'm going to be that ass, and I'm picking Washington, so...
I'm going to go with my king, Cam Newton.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, no, he's my king. So I'm going to go with them. And I liked his press conference today, too, talking about it's not about him versus Ron Rivera. It's about the 106 people that are going to be. People made fun of him because he like added 53 plus 53 and they thought that he added it too slow. And I'm like, guys, it's not that serious. Like, whatever. Yeah, but anyway, I like that he's already just numbers. Like, it's just a very different Cam Newton, where I think a lot of, past times years ago, he very much liked making things about himself, or like he didn't hate talking about that type of stuff, like the type of storylines coming into this. Whereas now he's very much not wanting it and he's not living that life anymore. So I appreciate the growth of my king, and I'm going to go with Cam. I'm going with the Panthers. Obviously, start CMC. I don't hate starting Cam.
Say it. There's
start
one person
Cam.
You're missing.
Start Cam.
One person you're missing.
DJ Moore.
One person. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
DJ Moore. Yeah. Okay, well, and then I mean, monitor Robbie Anderson too, because he and Cam looks pretty chummy. So don't start him over DJ Moore.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
Monitor it as a potential, because we know that the biggest concern with Cam being back in Carolina is how many touches is he going to take away from CMC. So I am not too concerned about that. They're both still good in their own right. They're not just going to be like, we're not going to do this play for CMC because we're giving it to Cam. That's not going to happen. They played together before, so it's not
they're going to
brand new.
A little bit differently. It's going to be a little bit different than usual.
So,
which actually benefits both of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I like that they are like reunited. you know?
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem like McCaffrey is like the type of guy that's going to get mad over Cam like going for a touchdown instead of him. Like he's not that type of dude at all. So
I really think he would like it. Take the
yeah.
pressure off him.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's been the Panthers for the last 4 years. Like
he literally is the Panthers.
Yeah, he actually part-times as Sir Purr. So
who Robbie Anderson did not think was real.
Who's that bear? What is that bear doing?
Yo, it's Sir Purr. Its name is Sir Purr, for God's sakes. That's unbelievable.
I do want to take some time out, though, to just give a shout out to whoever created the name Sir Purr. And I feel like you deserve everything that you ever wanted in your life, and I hope you get it.
We hope that. We really do, because that's the best mascot name.
Yes, it really is.
I mean, imagine start list.
Yeah. I mean, I would Pat Patriot's not up there for me. I mean, Pat Patriot's cool and all, but he's not Sir Purr.
He gets his goddamn number get taken away by Cam and then N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, can't catch a break.
I was okay with Cam though, because Cam is Cam. But
why is N'Keal Harry number 1? He should be like
maybe
number
in honor of his buddy. He was like, "Oh, I'm mourning the loss of my quarterback."
Something. Yeah. Okay.
So Niners at Jaguars. I keep wanting to call them the city names instead because that's how they're listed. But so I'm trying to be better saying the team name.
All right.
I don't like this.
I'm gonna go Niners. Actually, screw it. I'm gonna go Jags.
I know. I'm kind of like
the Jaguars are a lot better than people think. They really are.
Yeah. I know. I'm kind of like the Niners just like dominated the Rams.
That was due, though.
I
feel like that was due.
Yeah, I mean it's a divisional thing, so I just don't know how I like them going up against the Jags, like flying across the country. And I mean, Trevor Lawrence is not like amazing, but neither is Jimmy G. So
the Jaguars are a lot better. Wait, who are you going with?
I might go with the Jags. Is James Robinson playing?
Yeah, you will be.
Okay,
I have not heard anything.
I'm gonna go all out and say let's go Jags.
I agree. I really think the Jags are a team that can pull off an upset this week. They are a lot better than people think. I mean, they beat the Bills for God's sakes. But not only that, and their defense, it's more Trevor Lawrence. He's not a bad quarterback at all, and he has good pieces around him. With Dan Arnold, you're definitely starting him this week as he's been the most consistent tight end when it comes to targets shares for the past couple of weeks. James Robinson, obviously. Trevor Lawrence, I would not mind either. And the Jags are good. Like, they have the pieces. They just got to put it together. And the Niners are a team that do not have any pieces and are trying to put it together with their quarterback controversy. So until that, I mean, their defense is great and could probably give Trevor some trouble, but I just do not see the Niners coming off that huge win against the Rams and replicating it against a team like the Jags. I think it's just it's a trap game.
My main concern is if Trevor Lawrence hasn't been told that his real father is Peyton Manning, because they both have giant heads. So do you ever wonder that? Have you ever noticed?
I compare him to the Stonehenge people.
Yeah, no, he has a very large head. So I am concerned about the person who has to make his bust if he ever gets into the Hall of Fame, because that will probably take a long time.
No, they'll just go to like the island over there and just take one of the hedges and just bronze it or something. And
use Peyton's, use the mold of Peyton and just
give him a nice lock.
Fix it a little bit.
Like lock of hair, Hansel.
Yeah.
Hansel, you're definitely have seen Zoolander, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay, I can't say that because I just saw it last year, but Trevor Lawrence is Hansel. He's just so hot right now, and I think he's going to be very hot in this game.
Yeah.
So, that's my take.
The next one is Bengals at Raiders. Ew.
I got Raiders.
Ooh.
I'm riding my guy Derek Carr.
I know, but he's did awful last week.
Which
okay, I'll just go with the Raiders. You're
gonna go the Raiders as well?
Sure.
Love it.
Even though I don't like Derek Carr.
But do you like Joe Burrow?
He's cute. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
I mean, it doesn't matter what they look like. I don't care. But I mean, I am a female, so I appreciate good looks, but I don't like or dislike players because they're unattractive or attractive. Just have to clarify that.
Just gotta get that on the record.
Yeah. So, do we want to talk about this game?
We can talk about it. I just want to
Josh
say
Jacobs.
Start Josh Jacobs. Obviously, I would start not Derek Carr. Oh yeah, I would. But Kenyon Drake definitely would start as well, because he seems to be being involved in that offense a lot more than I thought than he would when he was signed with them. And
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, obviously, on the Bengals side. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I have CJ Uzoma as well. I think you can start him. He's had a couple slow weeks.
Yes.
Due for a bounce back. And Joe Mixon as well. But the Raiders, I would start Bryan Edwards. I'm going for it. I'm saying start him.
Okay. You're alone in that.
I'm definitely alone. I'm alone in a lot of takes, and I say them proudly.
Cowboys at Chiefs.
Why did my TV shut off? I am going to watch this game. I don't get. Okay.
I don't know. I keep watching the clock.
We're on a time crunch. So
Cowboys at Chiefs.
Oh my God! Points.
Everyone, I'm hoping that the Cowboys win.
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys as well. I do not trust the Chiefs at all. I'm going
to go for the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the Chiefs just get demolished, but that Travis Kelce gets good points for me in fantasy.
So absolutely.
But that's it.
I would start everyone in this one.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, are right now I would say one of the best teams in the NFC. I wouldn't call them the best, but they are definitely one of the better teams in the NFC. And the Chiefs are supposed to be one of the better teams in the AFC, but they're not. So, with them being not able to stop a nosebleed and leading the league in most yards in every category, essentially, I'm going with the Cowboys for sure.
Me too. Cardinals at Seahawks.
I'm going Cardinals. I know
the Cardinals actually play really hard at Seattle.
They do. I give you that.
Even when the Seahawks were peak Seahawks, Cardinals always gave them a hard time, no matter how the Cardinals were too. So, I feel like it's hard to say. I mean, it's hard because I don't know who's playing quarterback. We don't know yet. We don't know if Kyler's coming back. We don't know if DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. Russell Wilson is only week 2 from having a metal thing out of his face. I don't know. I don't know the call. I'm gonna go with Seattle. I'm picking the Seahawks.
All right. Okay. Who would you rather start? Because
and start everybody.
Both. Would you rather start Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf?
Metcalf? Are you kidding me? Is that?
I wanted to know. I want to know your opinion. So
no, DK Metcalf. I mean, start them both if you have them, but I mean, if you want, it's not favorable to start two on the same team. But I that's my take. In LA.
So you said Sunday Night Football who?
Steelers versus Chargers.
I go Chargers, not even close. Chargers for sure.
Yes. No problem. Yeah, I mean Najee Harris,
Deontay Johnson, just because he gets all the double-digit targets. I mean, he's their number one receiver at this point. And for the Steelers, maybe Freiermuth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would as well, but yeah, I would go Freiermuth and Najee Harris, and then Deontay Johnson. And then for the Chargers, you say Herbert already?
Yes. Eckler. Allen. Oh no.
We good? We good?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Oh yeah, Eckler and Allen, Herbert.
Mike Williams. I would definitely start Mike Williams.
Love it. Yeah, he's not, been doing what he did at the beginning of the year. So,
yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do. But I'm Chargers for sure. And then we are so blessed and so lucky that Monday Night Football is Giants at Bucks. I can't imagine a better game.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That is absolutely disgusting.
Start all the Bucks.
Every single I'm not gonna wait. We're not gonna waste time on this.
Yeah.
You're starting every Buck. Maybe for the Giants, Saquon if he plays. And if not, I really don't know. I really cannot give you a definitive answer on who to start in the Giants. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
Yeah. The Bucks need to win this because they've had an unfortunate few games. So they're playing at home. They're playing against an opponent that ain't doing nothing. So they better win this game. Brady needs to win this game.
He does.
Especially since Arians keeps blaming him for why they're losing. It's I can't. The thing that makes me wonder about that, just because, he was a Patriot, is Brady left to go to this guy who constantly throws him under the bus and admitted that he was letting Brady coach majority of the latter half of the season last year. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal. But I'm not a Bruce Arians fan. So
I am. So that's why.
So then you know what? Whatever.
All right. Well, there's our picks for the week. I love that. Our picks for the week. Got them all in the book of nonsense here that I call my notebook. And that leads us into, we'll do this quickly because you and I, we got to set up for the game. We got to go quick. So let's do this quick. And I'll even give the ad read now. Tomahawk Shades is sponsoring this, as I found the video. Go to tomahawkshades.com to get 25% off any order when you put in promo code USP at checkout. Get 25% off your order. An amazing deal that you need to get your hands on. Tomahawk Shades. Stay styling and profiling all football, fall, and Christmas season long. All right, go on, Stan. Go on, Stan. First down, I have a trivia question for you.
Uh-oh.
This is first. It's very simple. That's with the Patriots, so it's not crazy. Who is the largest scorer in Patriots history on Thursday Night Football when it comes to, we'll say, fantasy, because I think that's what it was. I'll give you, what'd you say?
Fantasy?
Yeah, when you I'll give you a hint.
So you said in fantasy?
Fantasy all-time Patriots players on Thursday Night Football. I'll give you a hint. You mentioned him already.
I mentioned him already. How many Patriots have I mentioned?
It's
not Cordero.
No,
it's not Patterson.
No, think back to the early days. Your first game, we'll say.
Matt Castle?
Matt Castle is the largest fantasy scorer in Patriots history.
What? Shout out to Matt Castle.
Yeah,
shout out to Matt Castle.
I wish I had the stats in front of me to prove it, but unfortunately, I didn't take a picture of the graphic like I usually do. So tear to that. But it is true. Go look it up. It is true. And then second down, I had a good one, but I got DFS. Screw me, DFS. That's what we got because I just filled that out so we could rapid fire this. And I got for my lineups tonight, and you can disagree with it and give me your thoughts. We got Mac Jones, my MVP, Hunter Henry, Wayne Gallman, my dude Kyle Pitts, and then Jesus Christ, Kendrick Bourne.
No, I like it.
You like that? Would you replace anyone in there with someone?
I mean, if I could, I would maybe make it entire Patriots and put Harris in there instead of Gallman, but I feel like I don't like playing Patriots players though. So I'm too superstitious. So no, I think it's good. I like it.
I like that. I'll tweet that out once we end this. And right after we give our third and fourth down safety pick of the week right now, we'll go safety first. Who's our safety player? Are we just going to agree right now that Patriots winning the Falcons? We just want to make that.
Yes. Okay, that's knock on wood. Don't jinx it. Ugh.
I got my wood table right there. We're good. So I like how we agree there. And then our long shot. Who's going the distance this week?
Who did I pick? That was a long shot?
Oh, I have it here. I mean, you did agree with me with the Jags, which was a shock.
Yeah.
You have the Browns. You did pick the Vikings.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to do well, that's not like that much of a long shot, though. I feel like the Jags, that's more of a long shot.
All right.
Don't you think?
Over the Vikings? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I think that Jags would be more of an upset than the Vikings to the Packers.
Yeah.
So I will go with my long shot. I'm gonna pick a fantasy play this week for mine because my fantasy teams are a combination of amazing and so awful at the same time. Mm-hmm. So let's meet in the middle. And I'm gonna go with the team that is undefeated this week. I'm gonna go with my long shot. I'm gonna go Dan Arnold finishes as tight end number 1. We'll stick with the Jags. You know, we had the same pick there. I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth because Steve and I kind of had a fangirl sesh over Dan Arnold last week, even so his little brother got involved when he interrupted the show and agreed with us that Dan Arnold was the tight end 1 for the week. So I'm gonna double down and say that Dan Arnold finishes as tight end 1 this week for the long shot, and not a bad place to end.
Yeah.
Not a bad place.
Go Jags.
Not a bad place. Go fucking Jags, Sarah. Go Jags. And go, you guys, go Patriots. Thank you for tuning into this edition of 4th and Goal. Make sure you're following us on all social media platforms as we have a lot of fun stuff coming in the works. We set it up. It's in the works, and it starts this week. You do not want to miss it. And the only way you're not going to miss it is if you follow us on all social media platforms, starting with myself at Pat_Pitts, and then the one in front of me in the Art of Stream, Sara Marshall, following her at SMarshXO. And then 4th and Goal as well. I got to follow the show where all the stuff will be obviously posted at 4th and Goal USP on Twitter and Instagram. We are on Instagram, and that's going to be revived this weekend. So be on the lookout for that. And we have a YouTube channel. We do have a YouTube channel, and we are live on it now. Videos are being uploaded to it from our guy, Christian. Shout out to him. And it's been a long time coming that we finally got our asses on YouTube. We're there. So go check us out. It is at 4AGUSP. I'm pretty sure is the name. If not, I will tweet out the right one. But in the meantime, while I go search for that, you should go search for Underground Sports Philadelphia on Twitter and Instagram, the network that allows us to talk about whatever we want, whenever we want. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at UndergroundPHI. And then give them a follow on twitch.tv/UndergroundSportsPHI for our Thursday night stream. But then also because Steve, our virtual PGA Tour member, is making millions and millions of dollars on the virtual tour. And by millions and millions of dollars, I mean virtual millions. Because we ain't there yet, but we will be one day. And Sarah, anything else to promote while we're at this time? Oh, your show, TBD with Sara Marshall.
Yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow at 7 Eastern to recap the game. All the good, the bad, the ugly, all that.
I love it. Love that. And I got my recaps for Border Fuel Sports coming out after this game as well. So definitely go check that out. Border Fuel HQ on Twitter and borderfuelsports.com is the website. Go enjoy Thursday Night Football. Go watch this. I don't know what this is going to be like, but hey,
I don't know.
It's going to be a lunar eclipse.
I'm getting nervous.
The last 3 hours and 28 minutes. So if that doesn't say anything, it says that God is a Patriots fan, and we all are Patriots tonight, in the words of Robert Kraft. Go out and enjoy this great game. God bless, and remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. We're going to see you Sunday.